On our broadcast tonight, running mates, who is Obama's number 2? He's decided it, and the world could learn his best-kept secret any minute now. Drenched, the weather emergency in Florida, a mess that the massive storm is leaving behind. How old are those Chinese women gymnasts? Tonight, the new development in the Olympic controversy that won't go away. Making a difference, an American athlete who can do it all. Her inspiring message that it's never too late to learn something new. Also, what's a sportscaster from Indiana doing on Chinese television? Nightly News begins now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Good evening. If there were gold medals handed out for secrecy, then the Obama campaign has at least entered the medal round of the competition. The candidate says his mind is made up about a number 2, yet tonight there are tea leaves but no hard take-them-to-the-bank facts and no evidence that the future vice presidential nominee has been told of the job. We'll all know by tomorrow, unless we find out any minute now. And while this all goes on, the Obama camp is telling the McCain campaign people who live in that many houses shouldn't throw stones. Covering all of it tonight. To start us off this Friday evening, NBC's Andrea Mitchell. And Andrea, we have reporters tracking the movements of private jets. We've got an internet rumor about the printing of bumper stickers knocked down as bogus tonight. What do we know?
Well, what we do know is that the Obama campaign is determined to announce this in its own fashion, by texting a message to supporters. But barring a last-minute change, it is looking more and more like Senator Joe Biden is the choice. Leaving home today to work on his convention speech, Barack Obama wasn't giving away any secrets. In recent days, he seems to be enjoying the game of stump the press.
I did say that I've made the selection, and that's all you're going to get.
He has dropped hints, telling USA Today he wants a partner in strengthening this economy and someone to guide us through dangerous waters internationally and be independent, he told CBS.
I want somebody who is going to be able to challenge my thinking and not simply be a yes person when it comes to policymaking.
All pointing to Biden. At home and under wraps today, surrounded by family who've been gathering all week. Even on the eve of the announcement, not yet given the official word, sources say. Unlike the other top contenders, Virginia Governor Tim Kaine and Indiana Senator Evan Bayh.
It's not mine to report.
Sources say they were told they're out of the running. Biden, with blue-collar roots, could help reinforce Obama's latest message. Battled again today in dueling ads.
Call it country club economics. How many houses does he own?
All about McCain's multiple homes. As many as 10, says the Obama campaign. Only 4, says the McCain campaign.
Obama's solution? Higher taxes.
In June, when Brian Williams asked Biden if he'd take the job.
If asked, I will do it. I've made it clear I do not want to be asked.
Do not want to be asked, but if asked, the answer, of course
I would.
One person not vetted, Hillary Clinton. Obama had said she'd be on anyone's short list. But his team did not ask her for any personal records.
That's for him to decide.
What advice would you give him?
I am not in that arena.
Among the first to know could well be the law students at Widener University in Wilmington, Delaware. Biden was scheduled to teach their class tomorrow, as he has for 17 years. They've been told they may have a substitute professor. Brian?
And while all of this goes on, back to the McCain campaign and this issue they're fighting, which you predicted yesterday would go down as one of those moments in a campaign. Does this live on and on and on, you think?
I think it does. It becomes emblematic, and it gives Obama an opening just when he needed it. He was having trouble identifying himself, defining himself. The McCain people were having a couple of good weeks. This has definitely been a setback.
Well, we'll keep covering all of these stories as we move on to news elsewhere. Andrea Mitchell, thanks for starting us off. In Florida tonight, Tropical Storm Faye is dumping more rain for a 5th day, more than 2 feet now in some neighborhoods. Our own Kerry Sanders, as you may know, has been covering this storm for us since the beginning. Tonight finds him in Leon County, Florida, near Tallahassee. Kerry, good evening.
Well, Brian, Faye is still punishing the state. It's raining 3 inches an hour in some places. The hardest hit areas have seen 33 inches of rain. That's why the flood zone expanded today. More folks were forced to evacuate. State officials say it's hard to pin down, but they estimate the damage will run into the tens of millions of dollars. At least 7 people have died as a result of Faye, including 2 people who jumped in the surf for a swim and were swept out to sea. This storm has taken a highly unusual turn. It crossed first into Key West, then it went into southwest Florida, moved across the state, exiting on the Atlantic, then it boomeranged back, moved ever so slowly across the state, dumping all that water, and is now exiting back into the Gulf of Mexico, heading northwest, where it's expected to head into the Panhandle over the weekend, moving west to Louisiana. State officials in North Florida are watching rivers like the Icknockly here, fearful that it's going to crest about 4 feet above flood stage this weekend. Brian?
Incredible story of the storm that will not leave Florida alone. Kerry Sanders out in it again for us. Thanks. Some extraordinary pictures came into our newsroom today of a freight train on fire and then some after derailing near Luther, Oklahoma. And you can see why firefighters were initially unable to get anywhere near this accident. The radiant heat from that fire was just too much. Local sheriff tells us the conductor got out safely. Train was apparently carrying crude oil and other flammable materials and crashed near an oil well. Turning now to news overseas, this was supposed to be the day Russian forces finally withdrew from Georgia. 2 weeks now after their tanks rolled in there, there was some movement. Russia said its troops had come out with some exceptions. Not so, according to a White House spokesman who said, quote, Russia is not in compliance. Russia needs to come into compliance now. Throughout the Olympic Games in Beijing, the world has watched the performance of China's athletes with admiration, even awe. But among some of our viewers and commentators looking on during the primetime coverage, some suspicion started to seep in over the real age of some of China's young female gymnasts. NBC's Richard Engel has the latest on this story from Beijing.
Even as China's newest star gymnast, He Kexin, today posed with her team gold medal, the International Olympic Committee asked for clarifications about her age. Did she meet the minimum requirement of 16?
We have asked the Gymnastics Federation to look into what have been a number of questions and apparent discrepancies on this case.
Age discrepancies have appeared in more than a dozen documents on the internet about 3 Chinese athletes. Most were about He Kexin. From 2005 to 2007, China's Ministry of Sports listed her birthday as 1994, making He only 14 today. The same birth date was on a 2006 official gymnastics roster. Last year, even the state-run Chinese news agency listed He as underage. But last week, those documents and official media reports were taken off the web.
These documents have already been clarified. Things have been cleared up, investigated, and authorized by the International Federation.
But today, the International Gymnastics Federation asked China for additional documents.
No one's going to go back and find papers that say that she's something else, because the Chinese have control of the papers. She'll be whatever she wants. If they want to make her 40, they'll make her 40.
American gymnast Shawn Johnson, who won a silver when China earned a gold in team competition, said questions of age should have been answered earlier.
We want to go out there and know that everybody's playing by the rules and stuff, so if anything's questioned, it does make it feel a little different.
As doubts are growing about age, documents, and fairness.
This is a new level of inquiry, but not a formal investigation, and it's not likely to be resolved soon. Some track disputes from Sydney 8 years ago are still being addressed. Richard Engel, NBC News, Beijing.
While we were in Beijing on our trip that ended midway through this past week, we were invited to stop by Chinese state-run television, CCTV. They wanted to interview a visiting American journalist, and it was an offer we couldn't refuse. As it turned out, during our visit, we met somebody from back home. It's the largest television audience there is anywhere. CCTV has a virtual monopoly in China. Over 850 million viewers watched their coverage of opening ceremonies. That's almost 3 times the entire U.S. population. And one of the guys they watch is Tony Perkins.
Hello and welcome to Sports Scene on CCTV International.
Better known as the American guy on the staff. He's a local news veteran, a sportscaster from Indiana who was teaching journalism back home and on a whim decided to come here and work for a year.
China, well, how could you turn this down? Just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to spend a year here. And it's learning on 2 levels, on both levels. They learn from us, we learn from them.
Tony admits there are some big differences that take some getting used to. Not the lack of American food. That's all over the place in Beijing, where there are seemingly more KFCs per square inch than most American cities. Instead, Tony says it has to do with freedom of speech.
At CCTV International, there are rules. There's a big, thick rule book. And certain things apply that, of course, we can't apply to American television. The way that you refer to Taiwan, for example.
Okay, and what do you call Taiwan?
Taiwan, it's Chinese Taipei.
Okay.
They're very sensitive about this. And when you write your news copy, that has to be approved. That has to be looked at and viewed before it goes out on the air so that you do not make those mistakes that will, as they say, hurt the feelings of the Chinese people. And more to the point, hurt the feelings of the Chinese government.
Tony is a stranger in a strange land, and that, he says, is exactly the part of this he loves.
This experience is something that, again, is going to last for a lifetime, but it's also at a special time in this country's history and in world history as well, and I recognize that at the beginning, too.
Our conversation and our thanks to Tony Perkins, CCTV Sports. When NBC Nightly News continues after a break, we will go to Lester Holt in Beijing. Tonight, the story of some American Olympians who've been working hard for what they call the wow factor in the water. Then later on tonight, making a difference, this being Friday, an American woman athlete who's showing the world that it's never too late to learn.
Nasal allergy symptoms like congestion can occur at any time, and it's hard to avoid the things that cause them. Prescription Nasonex helps relieve nasal allergy symptoms, like congestion. Maybe that's why 6 million nasal allergy sufferers used Nasonex last year.
Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
For more information, talk to your doctor and ask if Nasonex is the one for you.
Got extreme stains? Then you need OxyClean Laundry Stain Remover. It actively overpowers greasy hamburger stains, and it attacks even tough grass stains and mows them down. OxyClean Laundry Stain Remover. It gets the tough stains out.
My name is Jane, and I've got osteoporosis, but I'm an on-the-go woman. I've been active all my life. That's why I'm excited about Reclast, the osteoporosis treatment my doctor gives me once a year. My doctor says 1 IV of Reclast can help protect me while I'm on the go for 12 months. How? Well, Reclast helps to re-strengthen my bones to help make them resistant to fracture. And with Reclast, well, no other osteoporosis treatment is approved to help protect in more places. Hip, spine, even other bones.
You should not take Reclast if you're on Zometa, have low blood calcium, kidney problems, or you're pregnant, plan to become pregnant, or nursing. Take calcium and vitamin D daily. Tell your doctor if you develop severe muscle, bone, or joint pain, or if you have dental problems, as rarely job problems have been reported. The most common side effects include flu-like symptoms, fever, muscle or joint pain, and headache.
Do what I did. Ask your doctor about Reclast. Year-long protection for on-the-go women.
Back here in New York, and as promised, let's go to Lester Holt in Beijing. Seems like I was just there. Lester, good evening.
Brian, good evening to you from Beijing, where it's already Saturday morning. We are just a day away from the final competitions and the closing ceremony of these 2008 Summer Olympics. Here are the top medal winners so far. The United States is now in triple digits with a total of 102 medals so far. Second place, China still leads in gold medals. Russia, Great Britain, and Australia round out the top 5. And meet the world's greatest athlete, the title generally given to the winner of the decathlon. He is American Brian Clay, the phenomenon of track and field who won gold in the competition, which consists of 10 events over 2 days. Clay won silver 4 years ago in Athens. He called this decathlon the hardest of his life. Now to synchronized swimming. It's been an Olympic sport since 1984. It's part gymnastics, part dance, and by the way, part swimming. It's been considered the Rodney Dangerfield of Olympic competition. It gets no respect. But the American team is determined to change that, and they've brought in some high-powered help. With more, here's NBC's Peter Alexander.
To get their feet back on the Olympic podium, these synchronized swimmers knew they needed to make a splash.
Our goal going into this meet is to be legendary.
Push and fall and go. That's better. Their coaches made the unlikeliest of moves, taking the team out of the water
5, 6, 7, 8.
and onto the mats.
Kind of laughed. I don't know. I thought I'd be playing with like monkeys and I don't know, trapeze.
Here and up. This is the country's premier circus school.
I'm very beautiful. Can do this.
Once each week, the U.S. synchronized swimming team comes here to practice the same flips and twists they'll have to pull off in the pool.
Here and here.
Their choreographer, Stéphane Mermont, was an original cast member of Cirque du Soleil, now searching for that winning edge.
I'm trying to get a wow factor every 5 seconds of the routine. And that's really my goal, to make sure that every lap of the routine has something very unique that nobody has done before.
For a sense of what these women are up against, their rivals, the Russians, the two-time defending Olympic champions, are legendary for their lifts, often throwing a swimmer more than 10 feet out of the water. Beneath the surface, their routine is exhausting. Swimmers aren't allowed to touch the bottom, relying on core strength to launch a teammate. They tread water during practice for hours at a time, not even leaving the pool to eat.
We train probably more than any endurance athlete out there, but it's only for a 4-minute routine.
Any distraction could mean defeat.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Their poolside preparation includes drills designed to help this team of 10 Olympic rookies think like veterans, visualizing a perfect performance.
Smell the chlorine, you're on. You're omnipotent.
Taking their circus act to the pool, hoping to prove acrobatics and art make waves. Peter Alexander, NBC News, San Francisco.
And that is it for now from Beijing. Brian, let's send it back to you in New York.
Lester, thanks, and we'll look for you all weekend long on Today and then come home. All's forgiven. Lester Holt, our friend in Beijing. When we come back after a short break, it may not be an actual timetable, but tonight it is looking more and more like there is at least a target date for bringing U.S. troops home from Iraq.
Gillette, the people who know men best. Introduce Gillette High Performance Shampoo, engineered with charged cleansers that attract dirt and oil and power them away for a charged clean that lasts all day. New Gillette High Performance Shampoo. Take charge of your hair.
Can't anything help these itchy allergy eyes?
Get fast relief with Visine A. Why just rely on allergy pills? Visine A goes right where you need it, relieving itching and redness in minutes. Visine A, fast relief for itchy allergy eyes.
Hate to iron? Now you don't have to. Get Downy Wrinkle Releaser instead. All you do is spray it on, gently tug, and wrinkles disappear. Whether you've got one garment to do or a whole basket full, nothing is easier. A must for college kids in dorms, business travelers, working moms, anybody looking to save time. Call now to get a coupon for $1 off, or go online and get one right now. Downy Wrinkle Releaser. It's like having an iron in a spray bottle.
I'm Mark Goldston, Chairman and CEO of Net Zero. All internet providers take you to the same internet, so why pay more to get there? Net Zero is only $9.95 a month, and we give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. Call 1-800-NET-ZERO or visit netzero.com.
If you have a history of smoking and breathing problems, it could be COPD, which includes chronic bronchitis, emphysema, or both. Discover Spiriva, the only once-daily inhaled maintenance prescription that treats both forms of COPD. Spiriva significantly improves lung function to help you breathe better for a full 24 hours. And it's not a steroid. Spiriva is not a rescue inhaler. Tell your doctor about your medicines, even eye drops, and illnesses like glaucoma and urinary or prostate problems. These may worsen with Spiriva. The most common side effect is dry mouth. Others include constipation and problems passing urine. In the event your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, vision changes, or eye pain, stop taking Spiriva and call your doctor. Spiriva is one of many treatment options to consider with your doctor. So make a habit of breathing better with Spiriva.
Our special series, Improving with Age, NBC Nightly News next week.
Ever since this nation went to war in Iraq almost 5.5 years ago, there's been this question: when would American troops come home? There may soon be an answer to that question as the U.S. and Iraq approach an agreement that looks a lot like a timetable for withdrawal. NBC's John Yang is with the president in Crawford, Texas.
In central Baghdad today, a marching band celebrated at the finish line of the first sporting event of its kind since the U.S. invasion in 2003. Another sign of what Bush administration officials hail as Iraq's improving security.
This progress allows us to have the conversations with the Iraqis to bring more troops home.
President Bush and Iraqi Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki spoke for an hour on a secure video conference this morning, discussing new rules for the U.S. presence in Iraq. Administration officials tell NBC News the leaders have agreed to try to have U.S. combat forces out of cities and towns by next summer and out of Iraq entirely by the end of 2011, a year later than the Iraqis wanted. Mr. Bush's aides call the dates aspirational goals, which could slip if the situation on the ground gets worse, not a binding timetable. But putting any kind of dates on troop withdrawal is a big change for Mr. Bush. He's resisted it for years.
Why would you say to the enemy, you know, here's the timetable, just go ahead and wait us out? It's dangerous for our troops, it's dangerous for our country's security. I strongly rejected an artificial timetable of withdrawal.
Analysts say the change is driven by the president's desire to solidify Mr. Maliki's standing at home.
Iraqi politics require that the prime minister validate his national credentials, his nationalistic, patriotic credentials, by creating a plan to get American forces out.
The 2011 target is now likely to become part of American politics, later than Barack Obama has proposed and earlier than John McCain has been talking about. John Yang, NBC News, Crawford, Texas.
And when we come back, our Friday night Making a Difference report.
It seems so exceptional that things just work out after all. It's just another ordinary.
When you give as much as you do, getting something back is a beautiful thing. With the Extra Care card, you earn rewards and save money. All Extra Care members receive a free gift coupon during their first visit in August. Come in and see what's free. See store for details and limitations. CVS Pharmacy, for all the ways you care.
Got extreme stains? Then you need OxyClean Laundry Stain Remover. Even fruit juices and cola come out right before your eyes. It's chlorine-free, so you can trust it on all your clothes. OxyClean Laundry Stain Remover. It gets the tough stains out.
What's the best value in arthritis pain relievers? Aleve. Aleve liquid gels are so strong, they can stop arthritis pain all day with just 2 pills. It would take 8 Tylenol to do that. 2 pills, all day relief. That's value. That's Aleve.
Allergies, Mom.
Messy medicine?
Oh.
Now there's a better way. Children's Benadryl Perfect Measure. A pre-measured amount of histamine-blocking Children's Benadryl that goes anywhere. Children's Benadryl Perfect Measure. The perfect measure for allergy relief.
Space is infinite, but it's my job to shrink it. I work for an Air and Space Museum, and I take the largest objects in the universe and bring them down in size. So when my doctor said that my going and going could get worse because my prostate was growing, I said, how can we shrink it? He said, Avodart. Avodart is different because over time, it actually shrinks the prostate, so I go less often. Other medicines, they don't treat the cause because they don't shrink the prostate.
Avodart is for men only.
Women should not take or handle Avodart due to risk of a specific birth defect. Tell your doctor if you have liver disease. Rarely sexual side effects, swelling, or tenderness of the breasts can occur. Only your healthcare professional can determine if your symptoms are from an enlarged prostate and not prostate cancer. So have regular exams. Ask your doctor about Avodart today. It's your growing problem. It's our job to shrink it. Avodart.
This is a KGW News Channel 8 update.
Next, what's making Beaverton's tap water so smelly? We get to the bottom of a problem that's fouled things up twice this summer. Plus, we're on elephant watch at the Oregon Zoo. Anytime now, Rose 2 expected to give birth. And under the Willamette River, big progress for the big pipe. How it's ahead of schedule. Next.
Making a difference. Brought to you by Avodart.
Finally tonight, our Making a Difference report here, which requires a return visit to Beijing. We've seen all kinds of records fall in this Summer Olympic Games, but there's one that's extraordinary. The first woman ever to compete in 4 Olympics in 3 different sports. And for her 4th Olympic Games, she chose one of the toughest competitions there is, the modern pentathlon. Our own Mara Schiavocampo has her story.
This is a story about what happens when you just can't seem to give up on a dream, even when it overtakes your life.
When I was told that no one had made an Olympic team in 3 sports, that piqued my interest. And I thought, oh, I wonder why no one has done it.
Sheila Taormina didn't really need to do it either.
And the Americans are ahead of the world record pace.
At age 39, she's already proven herself in 3 past Olympics, winning a relay swimming gold in Atlanta and enduring both the Sydney and Athens triathlons.
Sheila Taormina is with calm ease, first in, first out.
Saying she was burnt out, she had retired, but she could not let go of the challenge.
I'll never be a Michael Phelps and break a world record in 8 different swimming events. But this is the gift I have in sports, is to pick it up more quickly, maybe.
And she'd have to in just 3 years. She could already swim and run, but everything else was brand new. Of the 5 sports in the pentathlon, Taormina had to learn 3 from scratch. She had no fencing experience, she wasn't a shooter, and she had never even been on a horse before. And it showed. But the physical challenges paled in comparison to those inside Taormina's own head.
I'm an emotional athlete, and so what makes life great for me racing is what can make it tormenting, just with the passion I have.
The pressure Taormina faced wasn't just emotional. No sponsors were interested in her this time around.
So I would cry all day long. You know, when I realized I was going to default on my mortgage.
Financed by calling 1-800-535-5864. This program is available in either the VHS or DVD formats.
I am PBS.
I'm Jim Lara. On the next news hour, China's in the spotlight with James Fallows of the Atlantic Monthly, plus Shields and Brooks. That's Friday on the news hour.
Queen Elizabeth II gave our cameras an exclusive look inside the royal household.
The Ambassador of Poland, Your Majesty.
Exactly on time.
We're bodyguards.
Come behind the scenes at Buckingham Palace.
Don't wait for a straggling plate.
Meet the family. And find out what it's like to be a member of monarchy, the royal family at work.
During 20 years of civil war, Ugandan rebels forced thousands of children into battle. After years of carrying a rifle, one boy now has a reason to hope. His story and much more on Foreign Exchange tonight at 8:30 on OPB TV. With celebrations set to kick off in Denver for the Democratic National Convention, Bill Moyer's Journal travels to Colorado, where tough economic times are hitting suburban communities.
What's controlling my TV? A few giant media companies? Or my remote?
I'm Judy Woodruff. As the Democrats gather in Denver for their national convention, the NewsHour and PBS will be there to bring you complete coverage. We'll cover the podium, the speeches, the delegates, and the nomination. Join us right here for complete live primetime coverage and analysis of the Democratic National Convention from Denver, Colorado.
Monday night at 8 on OPB. This year, these long-standing business partners have reached extraordinary milestones. Their commitment and years of support have helped make OPB's services to the community possible. Thank you to our 5-year award winners and to all of our business partners.
You are the purpose of our work.
The reason
we run.
The reason we serve.
we will treat you with respect.
Like our family and friends. Because you
Have feelings and emotions.
We are dependent.
Dependent on you.
The lifeblood.
The lifeblood.
The lifeblood
of our company.
We will treat you like our business depends on it.
Because it does.
Because it does.
Because it does.